Everyone talks about moving abroad in terms of paperwork, big decisions, and houses. But no one really talks about the moment you stand in the supermarket, staring at the shelves, realizing you don't know where to shop anymore, or where you get coffee, or bread, or medicine. Today we're talking about the part of moving abroad that actually makes it feel real. Finding the stores, places and routines that slowly make a new country feel like home. Welcome to episode 9 of our 10-part series about our story moving abroad. In the earlier episodes we talked about the big stuff. Finding a house, costs, admin, and importing our car. This episode is about what life looks like after the dust settles. Because starting a new life in a new country isn't just about where you live. It's about how you live. Where do you buy your groceries? Which stores feel familiar? Where do you go when you need something random, practical, or comforting? This episode is about discovering the places that make everyday life feel normal again. People ask us, when did Sweden stop feeling temporary? And honestly, it wasn't a place or shop. It was the moment our house started to feel finished enough to actually live in. When our living and dining room were done. When we weren't constantly surrounded by boxes and tools. That's when it clicked. Okay, this isn't just a project anymore. This is our life now. And from there, everything else slowly followed. One of the first things you need to figure out in a new country is groceries. And yes, we tried a lot of supermarkets, partly out of curiosity, partly because a lot of people have strong opinions about which supermarket is best. For us, ICA came out on top, specifically ICA Maxi. The reason? Better prices, bigger selection, and it just works for how we shop. That said, it's not close. It's about a 40-minute drive one way. So if we only need one or two things, we go to the smaller ICA very close by. But for proper groceries, we do a big shop once every 2 weeks. It saves fuel, time, and honestly, it just fits in our rhythm. Tell us in the comments, what supermarket do you swear by? We know this can be a big deal to many people. Before we moved, we kept hearing that grocery shopping in Sweden would be a whole different experience. Sweden is going to be so expensive. Groceries will shock you. But in reality, they're pretty similar. Some things are more expensive, some things are cheaper. And at the end of the month, it kind of evens out. So no big shock there. Just a bit of trial and error finding the brands and products we like. One thing that really changed after moving is how much we make from scratch. Bread, for example. Supermarket bread here is often very processed, with ingredients we don't really want. And it's also pretty expensive. So instead of hunting endlessly for the perfect bakery, we just started baking our own. And honestly, I love it. Same with cinnamon buns. Most of the time I make them myself. And when we want something a little special, we usually do takeaway and eat in the car. We're just not very big restaurant people. Looking ahead to 2026, we actually want to skip takeaway completely. Everything we crave, we have to make ourselves. Chicken nuggets, homemade. Milkshake, homemade. The more we read about food and nutrition, the more we want to create everything we eat. Though that might be a topic for a different video, so we won't dive into that today. Owning a house in a new country suddenly makes you care about stores you've never noticed before. We love our local hardware store, but we only discovered it a couple months ago and it's basically around the corner. About a 15-minute round trip. If they don't have what we need, we usually go to Jula or Biltema. Bauhaus exists, but we've noticed that it's often more expensive. So now that's really a last resort for us. Hornbach is way too far, about a 2 to 2.5 hour drive one way. So in the beginning we were a bit sad about that. It used to be our second favorite hardware store in the Netherlands, just after Gamma. And then there's Motonet. We went there once and were blown away. We were only looking for windshield wipers for the car, but they literally have everything. Shavers, tools, backpacks, tents, and all the car parts you will ever need. This was such a great find for us. For paint, we went with Happy Homes. And honestly, we're very happy with the quality. These stores might not be flashy and they won't make it into Instagram posts, but somehow finding them, knowing they're there when you need them, makes everything feel real. Makes life here feel settled. Healthcare is something people always worry about when moving abroad. Where do you get basic medicine or personal care products? For us, the answer was simple. We use Apothea, an online pharmacy that has almost anything you could need. Locally, there's also a pharmacy in the ICA Maxi for quick pickups. We haven't needed any prescription medicine, but just knowing it's there is comforting. It's one of those small things that make you feel settled even if you don't realize it. Sweden has a very strong second-hand culture, and we love that. We often just follow random signs that say loppis and see where we end up. That said, when we first moved, we also needed a lot of basics. So yes, we did buy furniture at IKEA, Jysk and Mio. Not the most sustainable option, but it fit our budget at the time. We did make conscious choices where we could though. Wooden furniture where possible, like our EVAR bookcases and our bed. Cotton curtains instead of synthetic ones. Now that the basics are done, we're shifting more and more towards second-hand and natural materials. Slowly and at our own pace. We don't really buy a lot of clothes, but when we do, we usually just go to a city and go in the shops that feel right. Our favorite outdoor shop so far is Natuurcompany. It reminds us a lot of our favorite Dutch store, Bever. We're really not fans of online shopping. Especially for clothes, it has almost never worked for us. So we keep it simple. Buy less, buy intentionally. Wear it until it's broken and then fix it. And then wear it again until it's really worn out. Online shopping in general, not really our thing. Sometimes it is convenient, but a lot of the time we're just not happy with what arrives. So we prefer physical stores. Seeing things, touching them, walking out knowing exactly what we bought. There are also places that aren't exciting, but they do matter. The post office, recycling stations, gas stations, car washes. And fun fact, the post office is usually inside the ICA, which is surprisingly convenient. Those are the hidden places of settling in. Nobody talks about them, but once you found them, life starts to feel normal. One of the biggest reasons we moved is nature. And it really is a big part of our everyday life now. We spend time outside every day, even if it's just on our own property. We found some beautiful hiking spots, some intentionally by looking on Google Maps, others by just driving around and seeing where the road goes. There isn't one single place that made us think the move was 100% worth it. It's more the overall vibe, the calm, the space, the slower pace of life. Life here feels more relaxed, less rushed. And that is exactly what we needed. So here's a question for you. What's the first place you always look for when you move to a new place? Is it a supermarket, a cafe, a walking route, a gym, or something totally different? And how do you usually find your places? Do you plan everything, or do you just wander and see what happens? Let us know in the comments, we read everything. If you are enjoying the series, make sure to like and subscribe, it really helps out our channel. We also have Patreon if you want more behind the scenes content and updates. This was episode 9. Next time in episode 10, the final one, we'll talk about our life before and after immigration. See you on Friday.